Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Hustle Creatives Unplugged. My name is Laura Key. I'm an actor, host, and voiceover artist. I've been working in the Singapore media industry since 2008, and I'm also an advocate for media workers in Singapore. Now, today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic to many of us creative freelancers out there: marketing and networking. And for that, we have three guests with me today. First of all, I have Jean C. She's a Labour-nominated Member of Parliament. She's very passionate about advocating for freelancers' work rights and prospects. And of course, we have a very familiar face and voice right here, Daz. Now, Daz is a host and entertainer, and he converses in four languages: English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil. He got famous during the COVID-19 pandemic when he imitated Lee Hsien Loong's speech as well. And we have Audrey Lim. Now, Audrey Lim is experienced in many aspects of media. She's also an advocate of the arts and is currently serving as the president of the Visual Arts Development Association Singapore. Now, today, diving straight into the topic, marketing and networking. For our creative freelancers here, maybe Audrey first, do you think marketing and networking is important to your career and has brought you to where you are today?
I don't think anyone else is going to talk to you about yourself as much as you should be talking to people about yourself. I think that degree of being able and willing to talk about what you do, why you're good at it, and why you'd like to keep doing it, and how you can benefit other people with this magical thing that you do, I don't think anyone else is going to be as motivated to do it for you. So you must be able to get out there, have a bit of a conversation with people, be a little bit like thick-skinned and just
it's
try.
difficult though. I think for creative freelancers can be quite difficult.
It's awkward, isn't it?
Daz, do you have an experience with that?
Oh, yeah. So I think there are many introverts in our industry as well. A lot of people know that we talk for a living, but so they think that we're very comfortable in public settings or we are very happy to speak to strangers. But I think a lot of us, we shy away from that because I think there's something that makes us feel a bit more safe in front of the camera on stage than in the midst of a lot of people. So I think this is a very important topic for especially our creative freelancers because marketing is still very important. A certain degree of marketing and networking is very important as well. And I think it's also important to know what you want to share. So at least if you go into the conversation knowing what you want to share, you're not just dragging out really small talk, and then that would make you feel very awkward. So I always suggest for people to have something to show. If you are a voiceover artist, you can show them an ad that you have voiceover. So then it's easier for you to have a conversation over. Or if you have hosted something, you can show them your reel. Or you can say, let me send you something.
And not to be shy about sharing.
Yeah. You can always say like, okay, let me send you my reel. Can I have your contact?
Maybe Jean can share a little bit about your members. Is it something that creative freelancers you find really don't have the knack for, or is it something they struggle with?
When we engage with some of our members and we said, actually, what is it that you can do for your clients? And they say, okay, I can do this. So basically activities. But actually what the client really wants is, I want you to solve a problem.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's when you do that networking and all that, you start to discover actually what are people really wanting to pay money for. Having that conversation, understanding what drives certain industry, what are people looking for, and then maybe, using that spark of creativity, then you say, hey, actually this is something I can maybe repackage it and it can suit you. And if you can hit, that sweet spot, actually you have a client for life because they will say, you know what I want and you can deliver.
As artists, as creative freelancers, as writers, all these creatives, we have to build a personal brand for ourselves. So how do you get started with building a personal brand?
I have not realized that I had a brand until, a few months into my career. But I realized that, my personal brand was built from the feedback that I got from my friends. Oh, you're very funny. Hey, actually, you can speak Malay also, right? These are the kind of feedback that I got, and I realized that, oh, okay, so these are the kind of things people feel about me. And then I have to consider whether I'm happy to call this my personal brand, because people can call you many things.
Yeah.
But if you find that that is something that you cannot do
identify
sustainably,
with,
or you can't identify with, or, it's just like a one-off thing that you thought was funny and then you are unable to sustain it, then I think it will be very hard. So I try to build my personality and my social media personality around these things, and also it really did help me. But at the same time, time also, the kind of conversations that I had with my friends may not be social media friendly or TV friendly as well.
Yes.
So that is also a very important part of your brand, right? Because when you are having a private conversation, all of us have private conversations that we may not want the whole world to know about. So you also need to be aware about why you're doing this social media thing or this public thing. Because if you're doing this public thing just for fame, just for the lols, just as a hobby, then sure, go ahead and share whatever you want to share. But if you want this to be a sustainable career, that means you actually make real money from it, then you have to think about whether brands want to work with you.
I think that was a very comprehensive answer about being authentic and being relatable and not trying to do something that doesn't come instinctively to you, because you're going to run out of juice, number one. And number two, people can smell it, that you're not being real. And I think that it's important to think about brands if that's the direction that you're keen on. So when I'm helping other people build their brands, one of the first things that we think about is, where do you want to sit on the hierarchy? Like, I think people can accept that Taylor Swift and Beyonce are both huge artists, right? But when you're on social media and you at Beyonce, do you think Beyonce will ever in a million years reply? No. But if you at Taylor Swift, there's a chance. Maybe if she's trying to do a outreach thing, she might reply. She might show up at your birthday party. So how reachable are you?
That's it's getting
for
ideas.
instance? Yeah, it's the you can be any diva you want. Like, I just chose two, right? But it's whether you are accessible or not, because that really changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you are fundraising for an album, a Beyonce style artist can never fundraise because the positioning is that they are perfect and unreachable. A Taylor style artist is reachable. And if you ask your fans might actually come out and carry you. So that's the difference and the power of knowing how to position and knowing the ramifications of your choice.
But do you have to craft that brand over what people want? Or is it just something, it's the difference of whether you're pushing out something and hoping that people like you, or are you pushing out something, crafting it to what people want?
Okay, you cannot craft it to what people want only because it's not sustainable. If people ask me to do something that is outside of my comfort zone, and if they think that would be entertaining, sure, it might be entertaining for them, but I'm not comfortable to do it. And I can do it once, but I may not be able to do it every day. And that's one. Another thing is, I also had to think whether this persona is something that is sustainable. So if I wanted to create a brand and say that, okay, I'm this very rich social media influencer and I carry a different branded bag
Yes.
every day. Like, I may not be able to afford a new bag every day to post on my social media. And I'm not thinking of, trying to be someone I'm not.
So it's very authentic.
It has to be
who you are.
authentic.
Yeah.
But we are multifaceted human beings. So you just show a few facets.
Prettier side.
No, not necessarily. Yeah, show the realistic and relatable side.
Yeah, I heard you had a very interesting story about Boon Lay. Do you want to share that story?
Okay, so do you know how to say Boon Lay in Chinese?
文来.
Fantastic.
I
So
did not.
this was what happened on radio. Recently, I went on radio and they asked me what I did. This is a 9:00, so it's a Mandarin conversation. And then they asked me what I did for New Year. So I said I was hosting an event at Wenlai. And then the radio DJ was like, wow, Wenlai. Then I was like, what's so surprising? Like, all of us hosts would be doing something over the New Year. Actually, Wenlai is Brunei. Yeah. Wenli is Boon Lay.
Wenli.
So Wenli is Boon Lay. So I said Wenlai. So she was very impressed that I went to Brunei to host an event. And then this happened on air. It was a very blonde moment, and it was a very real moment because I made that mistake. And also, of course, my co-host, she's a radio DJ and her Mandarin is amazing. So she never ever thought anyone would be confused between Wenlai and Wenli.
Many people obviously are confused.
Yes.
No, but or either that or you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know,
Yeah.
right? And that is fine. So I shared this on social media saying that I just made this huge mistake on thing, and everybody were very kind and in the comment section saying that, even us Chinese people do not know the difference, or we don't even know. I don't know how to say Boon Lay in Mandarin, and a lot of people said it's okay to make mistakes. But I mean, of course, I'm not a native speaker, right? So I think I get the pass.
get a little bit of
pass. Like with Tamil, maybe I will not get so much. Yeah.
Like online presence is very important nowadays. Do you have to be on all social media? What is your view about social media, online presence now?
I think you shouldn't bite off more than you can chew. It's always good to, dig a well all the way till you can get water than to give up halfway and then try to go and dig another well, and you will never have water by that time. So, and also, again, what is sustainable? some people have like a huge team where they can have like a LinkedIn account, a Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And if you don't have that, then just focus on something that you can. You know, and a lot of people who are social media content creators, this is not their entire job. They have a full-time job and they have kids at home. How are they going to like, you know, churn out 5 pieces of content every day? They probably one content per week when their kids are having a nap is great.
Yeah.
You know, so I think whatever, you don't bite off more than you can chew because you don't want to like publicly give up so many times.
I work as an actor, right? And I know that actors who either don't have very active social media or they private, you know, they have very private social media accounts. So they're not really active there. What do you think about that? Do you think it is essential to have social media presence?
And at the end of the day, it boils down, no one's going to point a knife at you and say you need to do it. But at the end of the day, when a job comes your way and then they say, okay, we need someone with a higher social media content, your acting is great, but we need to market our show as well. So who do you think they'll choose? You know? Then if you want to be part of that game, then you have to have social media content.
Do you believe it's sustainable? And I totally understand what you're saying by how TV people, when they're casting or when they're looking for a host, they will say, oh, what's your social numbers? Oh, we only want a host, or we only want a person on board who has more than 100K followers, for example, right? Do you think that the time will come when they realize that hiring based on followers does not give them the quality that they like? And will that move the needle, or do you think they'll just keep going?
Firstly, of course, there are very, very talented people in our freelancer community that do not have a social media presence. But there are people who are very talented with a social media presence as well.
Yes.
So when you want to compare the two, and I'm looking to market my event, and I want people to come down and watch the show, then
The choice is quite clear.
Yes.
It's quite clear.
Yeah.
So, but if it's just purely, if it's not for marketing purposes and they just want to tell it, because we have many MCs, you know, but professional MCs who don't really have a social media presence and their network is huge.
Yeah.
And they have like more shows than me. They have like shows every day. They have shows like 4 shows on weekends.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they have operated through word of mouth. And so I think you can be very successful as well.
I think word of mouth, like you mentioned, is also quite.
Yeah, word of mouth is great.
Yeah, so it's also about doing the work, right? You can't just market and present a very beautiful image of yourself, a very personal brand, but not have the substance.
Yeah, if you have a lot of social media following and then you like bomb at a hosting gig or come late, then they won't hire you again.
You're not professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it balances out at the end of the day as well.
But I thought that you still need something online with your portfolio. So even
So a
if you have
website or
a website is good enough, yeah. Because if not, people won't know whether are you real. You know, so once you put it out and say that actually this is my portfolio and it's a real thing, right? That you can actually verify, it's like a reference check, that somebody can actually append, you know, with the email and say, boss, this is I vetted credible person. This is the show reel.
Be Googleable.
Yes,
That's important.
very
SEO.
important.
yeah. Okay, so we talk about marketing, of course, and personal branding, right? Now let's talk a little bit more about networking. Networking is a bane for many creators, myself included. When you come to a networking session, then kind of, you know, I don't really know how to conduct myself or what to do. Am I supposed to give out my business cards and talk to a lot of people? What am I supposed to do? So do you have any like coping strategies, any tactics that you use?
I actually do have very many thoughts on this because a lot of creatives, as Das rightly pointed out, we're good when you give us a microphone. We're good when you put us in front of a camera. You put us in a room full of people, it's like, oh my God, get me out of here, right? Because it's just so overwhelming and it's not controlled. If I'm on stage holding a microphone, I can control who I speak to and how long you have access to me, right? Because I'm doing a job. You throw me in the middle of an expo style
Be
hall.
expected to do something, to talk to people.
Scary.
Yeah.
It can be really scary. And as an introvert, like I had to come up with very specific coping strategies. The first time because I used to be a radio DJ, the first time I was brought to one of these radio parties, I sat in the back with the bags. And it was one of
them, of course, is unfriendly and that like person who is so antisocial, right?
But it was more like,
Anxiety attack. I need some space.
I've now mastered the art of conferences and I've mastered the art of pacing yourself out for these things. So if I know that I'm going to my 5th thing of the day, right? Because a conference is like back to back to back things, I will give myself an out. So I only need to stay in the room for X number of minutes, or until I get X number of cards, or until I target one person that I want to speak to. So everyone else can just, not be there. I will check the conference list ahead of time. Oh, this fella looks quite,
preparation
interesting.
in
That one guy,
advance, yeah.
that person looks cool. Like, she looks like someone I really should speak to. So I shortlist people the same way that you would be shortlisted for a job. I shortlist the people that I want to speak to. I think about what I want to bring across to them and how they can add value to me, how I can add value to them. And that's the game I play. Then I'm not networking. I'm on a quest. I'm on a side quest to either give out 3 name cards or meet 3 people or just stay in a conversation for 3 minutes. And then once I complete that, I'm allowed to leave. And that's so much more achievable. And you are now not just going in there thinking, oh no, people. You're now going in with a specific intention to complete a specific quest.
Yeah. I think
Gamification.
Gamification.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I think like we have been talking a lot about face-to-face networking, but I think online networking is also very important. For example, like have a Instagram page with footages or basically a portfolio, something that people can refer to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Number 2, like use that page to like reach out to other people through DMs. Write emails to people that you're interested in talking to, and as opposed to like trying to find this person in a sea of people at events, then they might be already talking to 10 other people and then you'll be waiting there awkwardly, right? Another thing is try to talk to people who are in the industry, like your peers. Be friends with your peers first.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, don't try to meet the bigger. If you want to be an actor, don't try to constantly look for the other director that you want to meet.
Yeah.
Like the Steven Spielberg, whoever it is that is in Singapore. I think this is a huge problem with Singaporeans. They find it very arrogant to share their achievements or what they
They're
can
trying
do.
to be humble.
Yeah, so actually like you have seen their work and it's amazing, and we go and meet them. Hey, okay, only lah, nothing much lah.
It's okay,
That-
a little bit
I
of
don't know like he also can do what, like, Then like I know in that moment you're trying to be humble, but like here I am like presenting you with a person who can get you a leg up in your career, and then you're going to tell them you cannot do anything.
Yeah.
So if you are going to say that, then I think it's better for you to operate via email or have your portfolio or something handy and just show it to them. So let the person
Don't
judge.
downplay your achievements and your talents.
And make friends.
Yes.
Like reach out to people on social media. Don't write into someone and say like, "Hi, I'm an actor.
looking for a job."
You and an actor. Let's go for acting classes together." It doesn't have to be like that. Like you can meet for coffee, or like, are you attending any event this weekend, or what are you doing this weekend? Be friends first. You know.
I mean, that's very important as well because
Yeah.
you're talking about, going up to talk to people. But what do I talk to people about? Right? Do I go? What do I say when I open my conversation?
What I usually do is when I go into a room, I go to the person who looks the most awkward. I usually host the conference.
Yeah.
This year I was taking a break, so I wasn't doing the morning sessions, but I was still there early. And I saw this one girl come in and she had a clipboard, right? And she looked very like professional with her jacket. And she walked 1 round. And I was drinking my coffee, right? She walked a 2nd round. And on the 3rd round, I stood up and I pretended to put my coffee down. I'm like, oh, are you waiting for someone or are you just trying to look busy so no one will talk to you? And she said, that one, how do you know everyone, right? And so we had a conversation. It turns out that she was the number 2 of one of the sponsors. And that's how I got an introduction to her boss. Because it was very clear that she was so uneasy. And the minute you see, because you are also uneasy, you can recognize it. And like there's an easy way to go and make someone feel less weird about themselves by highlighting that, okay, I also. So what I do is I usually sit down here and I wait for them to come to me or whatever it is. And just by having a conversation about our mutual awkwardness, we actually became, actual contacts,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're friends yet, but she had like conference swag. She was like, here, do you want this? Oh, do you want to meet my boss? Oh, do you want to meet this other partner? And through that one action of number 1, sitting down quietly, recognizing this poor girl was literally walking a pattern into the carpet, right? And just having the strength to, at the worst, she'll just say, I'm busy. And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
There's no loss. There's absolutely no loss,
Yeah.
right? But by recognizing that you feel weird, I feel weird, are you okay?
And also sometimes when you have someone else with you, it's easier to go and talk to
Yeah,
people.
and also it's easier for them to say like, "Hi, this is my friend Audrey.
Yes.
She's a voiceover artist."
Correct.
As opposed to like you having to say that yourself,
Yeah.
and then
So
she can
awkward.
take back for me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's X as well. He can host your event. Both of us host. And you can and then like you can hire both of us, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's easier to have company.
Yeah, but
as
also
well.
don't be overzealous. Like, hi, VICPA, my name is Das, and I'm looking for a budget for like something. Don't be too like
Yes.
Pushy.
imposing and like overzealous
I
and
think the difference
too
is
much.
in social settings, it's very easy for us. You know, if you're at a party, it's just a casual party, you know, it's not a networking party, it's a casual, like
Yeah.
actors and all that. It's very easy for you to talk to people, hey, you know, hi, how you doing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But some other, when the networking thing is added on, you're like,
But why though?
because
I'm
I
interested.
think I figured out it's more of it's about a transactional conversation versus a relationship conversation. So if I go into something thinking that I'm trying to sell myself or I'm trying to get something from the person, then I start to become a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Whereas in a social conversation where I'm there, genuinely interested in the other person.
Now that you've made that divide,
Yeah.
that transactional thoughts don't work, but social, getting to know the person as a person,
Yes.
that works for you. Has that impacted the way that you would now approach networking events?
Yes, I think it would help in the sense that because it helps as well. Because you don't think about it, but you know how Jean was talking earlier about understanding what the person wants,
Yes.
right? That's very important. Rather than selling what you have, you first of all have to identify what the other person is working on, you know. Then you kind of think, oh, maybe I can match this. Or even if I can't match myself to what you want, maybe I know someone else. And through that conversation, or through bringing people together, you kind of make yourself more important
Yes.
in that network.
Yes, yes.
And anything can be a networking situation.
This is a networking situation.
This is I'm really happy that we're connecting. today.
Yeah.
This is a good vibe.
So, what about you, Jean? Do you want to share a little bit about what VICPA can help in terms of marketing or networking for creative freelancers?
Yeah, so I think the first is that you need to know what you're selling. So that's where the workshops come in play. And I think the second is that you need to just be discoverable online, which actually for many, right, they have a personal Facebook that has like Christmas greetings, New Year greetings, but nothing
Morning.
about themselves and their work.
Right.
So you need to decide, right? If you know still want to have your personal one, that's fine, but have something that is work related so that when people truly want to find out what you do and they want to verify that you're real.
Basically, you just need to sell yourself online. I think online is a very important
Yeah,
platform to
at
be
least
on.
when people Google, you just need to come out and try not to look like a scam.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
point.
And I think that the last area that we were focusing on for VICPA and all is also how do we promote you to the right people. So like for instance, people that pay, right? So
Yes.
We love those people.
Those are the best people. More people like that. More. Thank you.
yeah, so I think just making sure that our freelancers actually get connected to the right type of companies that will honor payments. I think
Yes.
that's super important. Yeah. So that's where I think when we do the networking is really from that angle where the organization promotes freelancers who are credible to companies that are credible, and we hope that matches can be made. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of marketing networking, what sort of networks or communities have you found are useful for you to build and foster these professional connections?
So I've mentioned the Telegram group for the musicians.
Is this public for all
substitute?
musicians?
Yeah, so it is. It's a. I mean, you can just join. This is a group where you have your peers there. They can give you advice. They can help you out. There's this Facebook group, SGC3, so Singapore Creative and Cultural Community. This was a group that came up during COVID, and we were sharing a lot of information, trying to get people connected to other people and having a safe space to have conversations. And if you don't know something, there's someone there who's been doing it longer, and they're happy to share information, to be a safe space for you to ask the silly questions. Because if you don't know, you don't know, right? You should clarify. Any sort of like link up groups that it has to do with your specific area of practice. If you are
Yeah, for instance, actors also, we have XG Actors Kopitiam as well. So that's run by the Actor Society. And it's also
Isn't
the
that
same
yours?
thing. Yes, it's mine, but we also do it as a form of, not so much because actors to actors, sometimes you don't do so much networking per se, but it's again the same thing about building community, finding someone to ask questions. You know, if you really, you don't have questions about contracts or things like that, to have this community, because actors, musicians can be very lone wolves sometimes. You can feel like you're really in your own space and you don't know if anyone else is going through the same things that you go through. So it's very important to build that community.
and be a safe harbor. So
Yeah.
if someone comes to me and asks, oh, how do I charge for X, Y, and Z? I'm very happy to give them my rates very transparently and even put it in a group setting, because I think it's not healthy for people to gatekeep information. Then everyone's guessing. And there shouldn't be a worry of, oh no, then someone will undercut. Please have some confidence in yourself,
Yeah.
branding, that you are not the same as someone else. Like you obviously are getting the job because you provide something different,
Yes.
right? Don't be scared. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Yes. I think make friends. Make friends. I think like generally like
Easier said than done.
I just have friends. Like because I feel like it's so much easier for actors to make friends because
Yeah.
you're on set with the same person for 12 hours.
Yes.
Like during lunch, you all talk, make friends, exchange contacts, you know. If ever I need someone, a Chinese actress or a local actress who can speak Japanese, I have your number. Really, I really do, right? And I
Yes.
know that about you.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, so making friends fundamentally is very important. And not everyone has to be a social media content creator. Like, let's relax and not worry about that.
I was one of the oldies who was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, do I have to? Like when I first started, I didn't do social media. What is the first step to transition from our visual diary of what we ate to, for example, a more work-approved portfolio that people like Jean can say, hey, you got seen or not? It's not just food. No, she actually does things. What would be a good first place to start in terms of creating content?
Okay, in terms of creating content, firstly, your bio, it must be clear that this is not your personal Instagram where, you know, you share like cat food with your
So
friends.
you separate it if you
Separate
really
lah.
need to
Yeah,
separate.
you're gonna put it, like nonsense things or things that you
Put
only
it
want your friends in,
different.
keep it separate.
Yeah.
And then have your professional Instagram. Make sure it's very clear. I think like clarity is key. Like I am a multilingual host, content creator, and I act.
Your brand, your personal
Then
brand.
your Instagram highlights can have like your works that you have done. You may not have like a huge engagement or following, and your post of you editing a video may not go viral. But at least when I Google your name, Audrey Lim, voiceover, I click and it goes to that, right? I know that this is legit and this is credible. And also if you share with me the client that you worked with, that would show more credibility. Oh, she did a voiceover for this brand or this television.
Basically, you create content from things you already do.
Yeah, right. No need to go out one fine day and create content. Like this is content, what?
Do you think LinkedIn is a useful network?
Yes. I have received job inquiries from LinkedIn, and also LinkedIn is a very, very good platform to, because you will never be confused by LinkedIn. You will not post you having breakfast with your family on LinkedIn. Like,
Well,
It's getting there.
there's Instagram for that. So it's a
Facebook,
professional
Facebook.
environment. So the moment I'm on the LinkedIn app, I'm looking to see what you do for work. You know, it's very, very specific. It's very focused. That's one. The second one is that like, you can search for the companies that you want to work with and drop them a DM.
right. Can you share a little bit more about VICPA and how there's networks of communities that can help creative freelancers, perhaps?
Yeah, so first, join VICPA.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the main thing is that
Why? Why must
why?
I be
Okay,
fine?
that's a good question.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think one is that actually we find that many creative freelancers are actually not talking enough about their work. So we help them to make sure that what they put online actually talks about what they really do and what they help their clients to do.
So how do you do this?
Okay, so we actually really do it through a workshop. We get people who are skilled in doing this and SEO, understanding SEO, to guide them through that process. So it's still authentic, but we we guide them to craft it in a way that is very clear, because clarity is key and needs to be Googleable. And you need to be able to speak to that client that you want to target. So if you are trying to sell to a certain tier of client, you need to speak that lingo. So example, even understanding what are industry terms, actually these are very, very important. So I think that's one of the things. Yeah, so we make sure that all this information is there.
Yeah.
And that freelancers who have questions, they can go to this one site, VICPA, and make sure that all the information is there, checked through. But most important, because you want to tell your service purchaser that actually this is verified information.
Yeah.
I'm not just like,
Quoting from the sky.
yes, please go to this website, point them to this, and they will see that, okay, because it's NTUC verified, right, source of truth. Now, of course, the third thing is that we want to also do that matchmaking, because nothing actually speaks out more than real stories, right? That actually this is how it's done. These are companies that have that relationship, and that relationship works because you get good service, you have a long-term relationship, they know what you want, your company actually gets what you're trying to buy that service for. Yeah, so I think that kind of story will work.
There's also a freelancers directory. You want to
Yes.
share a little bit more?
Yeah, so this is just a one-pager. If you have no website, it's a one-pager just for you to put yourself out there. It is hosted on NTUC. So again, because SEO, you want to be, ranked high and you want to be from verified source, credible source. So NTUC is technically the host. So NTUC actually verifies. So we verify.
Nice.
Freelancers who post, right? You need to be a member. You send us the info, we verify. So if you say that you're doing this, blah, 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 we check, make sure that yes, indeed this person does blah, blah, blah. We get you up online. And then whenever there are inquiries, we will share this information with the companies or with other freelancers who are actually, looking for partners and all that.
Cool.
So thank you so much for joining in and tuning into this episode today. I also thank my three guests right here, Jean, Daz, as well as Audrey for joining me. We've talked about marketing and networking. So we're interested to hear your reactions to this episode. So do comment below with your reactions and share any funny or interesting stories that you have about networking and marketing as well. So till the next episode, I'll see you again. Goodbye.
Bye.